Hey guys, welcome to another video with me, Crazy Skin Dog, and this is SRK Round 6 at Three Sisters. It's the day before today. We are in a practice session because obviously it's a track we haven't driven at all. Well, we've driven it, but it's not one we'll get to very often, being so far north. Yeah, about a 4.5 hour drive here today. It wasn't pleasant on the motorway, but the track's great. Evening's nice, and yeah, we just got a 30-minute practice session tonight, get our eye back in and see if we can improve on the times we set when we were up earlier in the month, and yeah, ready for racing tomorrow night. So we'll see how we get on. Hey guys, how we doing? So we're back at the track now, Saturday night, ready for race day. We've been waiting a while for this one. Obviously we had summer break and came up earlier in the month for some practice, so yeah, this is a long awaited session. The practice last night was decent. I did a 51.1, which was fine, competitive with the other SRK2 drivers here, so we're just looking to continue that today basically. We got the 3 heats and then A, B and C final after. It's 22 kart heats tonight, so every position is going to count. It's going to be real tough to get in the front of these heats, but yeah, we're going to do our best, see where we can go. Obviously one middle, back and front start, 14th, 17th and 3rd are my 3 starting positions. So yeah, I've got a lot of practice in. I've done a lot of track time this month, so pressure's on. I got to perform. I'm looking forward to it though. The track's great. It's a wonderful evening, and yeah, we're just waiting to get suited up, do the briefing and everything. There's been some supercars going around today, laying lots of rubber down, so yeah, track should be good. It's a wonderful night, and we're go-karting. What could be better? Yeah, we'll catch up after heats where possible, because it's going to be pretty quick turnarounds, I think, with only 6 heats total. There's not going to be much downtime between those heats, so yeah, we'll see how it goes. And obviously, yeah, we'll update after rounds and after finals with a finishing position, hopefully showing you a trophy. We'll see how it goes. Catch you then. Okay then guys, here we go. We're going out onto the grid for heat 1, and this was our 14th placed grid start, and yeah, we were feeling good going into this. Practice went well. I felt on the pace. Yeah, I felt confident with the track and everything, so I was looking forward to it. Obviously this is our mid-pack start, and in this one all of the SRK1 drivers pretty much started in the front half of the grid, and the SRK2 drivers started in the second half of the grid. So we are actually 2nd overall in SRK here, and hoping for a decent result, see if we can overtake Jake there on the inside, get involved with the SRK1 drivers and hopefully keep some of them in between us and the rest of the SRK2 drivers, and see how it goes from there. Just see me waving and chatting some of the other guys on the grid there whilst we wait for the rest of the grid to form up. It did take quite a while to form the grids, as you can imagine. There's 22 karts to get set up, and yeah, it's a bit of time to wait. And then they held us for quite long with the lights as well. Once they did turn those on, it's quite hard to see them from this far back, especially because the light box was on the left hand side, as you'll see in a moment, and the sun is coming from that side, so actually it was quite distracting, and quite hard to see from so far back as well. But we can see, looks like we might be getting ready soon, because we see the marshal walking up the left hand side, see the red light on the left hand side there, and we're waiting for that to go green. So they held us for quite a while. There it is, green, and away we go. Can't really see it very well, but I highlight that. And yeah, we get a decent start. We're going to get alongside Jake here, and the first corner is a right hand and the second's a left, so we're feeling good that we're going to get ahead there, and there we go. We've got ahead there, a little bit bumping up ahead, and we'll see if we can maximise on that. It's all a bit chaotic, and then Jake's managed to maximise on us, not being able to maximise on it, but we keep the inside line here. Touch the curb a little bit, but it doesn't affect us too bad, it seems. And yeah, we are now, however, though, kind of out of the slipstream train, so, and we can't get back in. As you can see, there's a car to the left. It's a little bit of human DRS, a little bit of a hands up and apology of contact there, and we managed to hold it well through that right hander. and then the two in front are gonna start to have a little bit of a battle. So we'll see what we can get interested with there. Jake's on the inside. We're going to try to switch back. We're going to try it, but we're not going to pull it off. He, in fact, is going to pull it off in the guy in front, but I missed the apex by about 27 years. But yeah, and feeling good around here. Going to send it. Going to try and send it. We do get decent drive, and we're side by side. Next corner is a left-hander, but then a right-hander follows straight after. So, and that touch of the curb, and we don't manage to take that position, but we do get good drive out of the right-hander there. And now we're into the slipstream, coming onto the long straight. Let's see if we can juke up the inside, which we do. Activate the human DRS to try and get that extra drive, and we're up the inside. We're going to try and hold that. Good racing. Yes, we get it done, and we managed to shuffle through and just make our way through there. And you see we're catching in Jake as well, but not too much. We're going to get a switch back. We're going to try and get a switch back, but he's going to get better drive out of the exit, and so we're going to slot him behind and see what opens up in the future. And you can see that it's just a long train at this point. Oh, I'm going to slide mega wide there, and that is not the way to take that corner, and we can see how that's allowed somebody else up the inside. It wasn't George initially, but it was George come the end. Yeah, George has capitalised there. You see I got a nudge from behind, which then nudges George, and yeah, somebody there that thinking that a bit of loading is fine with corner, but whatever, it's a one-off local, so yeah, they just want to improve their point, don't they? But yeah, we're going to see if we can make some of these positions back. We've made up some positions, we've lost some positions. We clipped the Murder Island curb there, and you can see there was a lot of bounce from the car. Looked to send it up the inside, but it closed up. Unfortunately, Chris Ball's had an instant now, so we've gained a position and it's all bunched up ahead of us. So let's see if we can get interested. And, right on the left-hander taking just a steady line. And we see George getting overtaken there, but we can also capitalise on that. Going to see what opens up around his right-hander. Yeah, we're just going to file back into our long line, get that slipstream train going, and see what comes up at the end of the straight. We see George's got a better drive away there from me there, and a bit of human DRS down straight. Turn in. See, I'm doing well in that corner. I gained a couple of kart lengths there and really put myself back in contention with the guys ahead. You can see us all getting very bunched up ahead. The SRK1 drivers battling a lot, so we're going to try our best to get involved. See Jake get shuffled wide there, but I can't capitalise. I ran a little bit wide, didn't get a good exit, and that's compromised me. But because of all the battling ahead, we're straight back on. We've got somebody trying to send it up our inside there, and we're going to try and hang it around the outside of this left and take it into the right. No, not going to quite pull off. Yeah, we're going to send it into the right-hander and keep him on the outside. See if we can out-drag him down the straight, side by side hallway. Nice early DRS activation there, human DRS. We got a head down before the second kink in the straight, just to maximise that DRS, and we've got up the inside because we've got the racing line there. And once again, we've just shown him the barrier, not the barrier, the curb on the outside, and kept that position. And we can see there's quite a bit of bunching up ahead, and we're going to see what opens up. We're going to try and switch back, and unfortunately a little touch of Jake's back end there, but it's opened up in front of us. Hopefully that wasn't because of that contact, but we've slotted through the middle of 2 or 3 of them there, and that's worked really well for us, and taken that turn 2 nice and clean, and just maintained it as well. So now we seem to have settled into a bit of a train. The battling is a little bit less ahead, although we see a few changes of position around there as they go side by side. But we're on Ben Chick's tail now, so we're going to slipstream him and try and follow him through. See, we give him a little bit of a nudge from the rear there, just so we had faster drive down the straight, but we will get through the right-hander fine and clean, and it's all good. And there we see they're going 3 wide up ahead by the looks of it. So once again, we're still interested in this activity. We're in amongst the SRK1 drivers now, which is exactly what we want to do. We want to get in amongst the SRK1 drivers and get them between me and the other SRK2 drivers. And we see Ben goes up the inside. I decide to try and follow him through, and then once again we're on the inside for the left-hander here, but not for the right-hander after. And he manages to stay ahead and get a bump from behind there again, but luckily I don't lose a position this time. If anything, it just keeps me going forwards, despite pushing me offline. but we have lost out a little bit through that, and now we're going down the back straight, nice long human DRS, send it in nice and fast, slide a little bit. That wasn't my best attempt at taking that corner, unfortunately. You can see the battle still going on ahead though, so there's going to be opportunity to catch them back up, send it into this right hand hairpin at the end, and I clip the curb. It just kills your drive, pushes you wide, and just ruins your corner. The curbs here were pretty brutal at times. Yeah, you really didn't want to hit them, like I just did again now. But luckily we see they are just cannibalising each other up ahead, so we still have chances to get involved. And then we see ahead Morgan and Ben side by side. Unfortunately they start to run a little bit wide, and Ben's ran out wide, so we pick up a position there, and that's allowed us to then catch back up to these two ahead. Human DRS down the straight once again, did that pretty much every lap, not going to lie. And coming through the right hander there, side by side, which allows me to catch right up. Morgan dives up the inside, well not dives up the inside, but sends it up the inside. And then coming around the left, Kink, dowding ahead there, he just pushes Morgan off. And then as they return to the track, they wipe me out. And all of that hard work, effort, and just, yeah, it's all to waste. You can see how happy I am with that. You will also notice that the background volume was muted for the duration of that, because, well, put it this way, spectators on the sidelines heard all of the wonderful words that I used to describe that driver and that incident, and they were a good 10 foot or more away, and they could hear the aggression coming out of my visor. Yeah, that move was stupid, it was dumb, it was dangerous, and yeah, unfortunately my battery actually ran out at that point of the heat as well. I was live streaming some of these, so yeah, that move was dumb, dangerous, and the driver was just completely unapologetic about it after, and he just, yeah, he didn't care, and he's just, yeah, whatever. I mean, it was frustrating. It's dangerous for Morgan. He held him on the grass the entire length of the straight, wouldn't let Morgan back on the track. And yeah, anyway, we're into heat 2. The red lights just come on. We're starting from 17th in this one, so we really need to make our positions. There we go, away we go, and we get a poor drive off the line. And yeah, we're not even involved in the two ahead come the first corner, but let's see what we can do. That instant in heat 1 really knocked my confidence and my groove, my flow, and so yeah, I was trying to get that back for this one. So let's see if we can start to make some moves and get involved. There we go, long train early in this heat. Obviously we're right at the back of it as well, and we've just dropped off from Ben there. I'm not sure I did anything wrong particularly in that opening sequence of corners, but we've dropped off. We didn't even gain down the Stratton slipstream. You see George ran wide there, probably a couple wide into that corner, and one of you's going to lose out, unfortunately. But again, it's bunched up coming into the hairpin. We see two people going out wide left, and George has ran wide, so we're going to see if we can capitalise on that. So we're on the inside for the right hander. We're going to get ahead. We're going to leave space initially, and all the way round, and George just regains the position, and we actually lose out to somebody else during that sequence. And then Diego coming on through, gonna look at Shrek, and yeah, we're gonna try and follow Diego now, because he's almost certainly going to make moves past people, but so far I've gone backwards this heat. It's not great, and you can see I'm just not gaining down the straights. I don't know if I'm getting bad exits, I'm sliding, and then for some reason I turned in very late there, somebody on the grass, no idea who that was or what was going on there, but we'll take a position. And then we're coming good round here, round the hairpin. Again, more instants up ahead. It was pretty chaotic this evening. The marshals were awarding no penalties at all for anything, so yeah, it got a little bit out of hand at times, as you saw in that first heat with Downing on Morgan. But we're trying to keep our nose clean, we're trying to race fast and see what we can create, but then we've ran wide again. Just like, it's hard to describe how much I had my kind of confidence, and here we go, Morgan's overtaken me there. Somebody else on the inside, we're going to try and hang it around the outside of them, come the right hander, which we do initially. We're side by side, and then we just get nudged onto the curb, and then we hit Murder Island curb, which then pings us into Neil, and we bump Neil a couple of times, and then you see we just lose like 4 positions off the loss of momentum and being run offline there. It was unfortunate, that one. The initial contact was from behind from Neil, but that's because I was going side by side with somebody else and we were going slow around that corner, and then when I hit Murder Island curb, it literally just chucked me back into the line and into contact with Neil. And yeah, it's one of those racing incidents. It wasn't malicious from Neil. It wasn't an attempt to murder me like the Dowding on Morgan one was, but it's just unfortunate for me. And then we're going to try around the outside again, but it doesn't come off. And yeah, that's just the second incident in 2 heats. I was starting to feel back in my groove a little bit, starting to try and make some moves, and it's come undone again. And yeah, by this point the frustration and the disappointment is hard to suppress. I'm trying my absolute best, I'm still focused, I'm still trying to drive fast, but I just can't get in a groove, I can't get in a flow with the track this evening. The karts I had in these first couple of heats just seemed to want to slide a lot more than the karts I'd had in my practice sessions did. And you see I'm going for the wider entry in the cut back here, and I'm just getting no drive out of it. I'm just sliding, tyres squealing, it's just not ideal. And yeah, I'm definitely not comfortable in these karts this evening for some reason. I was feeling good in heat 1 until that incident, but yeah, it's one of those. And we see the guy ahead runs well, you see how much time you lose hitting that curb, and we're actually going to try and get him up the inside to the hairpin here. It's decent looking. Here's a look on the exit. He's still side by side. You see we've left gap now. Yeah, we've started to move across. We've got that move done, but he's managed to switch back underneath us and get us into turn 1. And turn 2 we slide a little bit and lose some time. And yeah, that just sums up the evening really. So far, Sack then makes a move there. Very fast SRK1 driver, he's gonna make his way through. So once again though, we just like try and regroup. Right, we've got an SRK1 driver in front of us that's probably going to make some moves on the guys ahead, so let's follow him, and when he makes those moves, let's also gain those positions. But you can see I'm not gaining too much down the straight. Taking that right hander nice at times, really am alright there. However, we're coming up to my weakest sector of the track here, this right hand hairpin at the end of the lap. I'm quite slow into, well, quite slow coming out of actually. And then this right left of turn 1, turn 2 I'm just sliding too much. That was actually quite nice for once. See, I get a decent drive and up the inside going into turn 3 in the lunar bends. But then I hit the curb, that washes me wide. And yeah, we're gonna get, there's no space on the inside, so let's see if I can slipstream down the straight though. But I've probably got poor drive out there, but we are in the slipstream, see we're gaining. We pull out to the inside, we're going to try and send it up the inside of the right hander. It's looking good, we're going to leave space on the outside, and he just gets better drive coming out of the corner than us, and manages to stay ahead. We're going to send it, we should have sent it there I think, probably should have just sent it up the inside, but I've been involved in a couple of incidents, had my groove, my confidence knocked, and yeah, I just wasn't feeling confident enough to send it up the inside there. Just, yeah, I should have, because it was on, but I just didn't have the confidence to at this point of the evening. Unfortunately, you see I get a good drive out of turn 2 there this time, so hopefully we can get this done on the straight and go for the switchback, and I just slide. I get it wrong and I slide, and this is what I mean at this point. I'm off kilter. I'm not racing well. I'm not racing to the best of my ability. I'm just making little mistakes there. If I just taken the right line and not slid, I'd have been on his tail coming around those 2 kinks, slipstreaming down the straights, and I can have a chance to send it up the inside of the right hander at the end of the straight. Instead, I'm 4 or 5 kart lengths back and having to try and build that back up, which I've managed to do, but I should be gaining positions, not just recovering gaps that have been created by my foolish mistakes. So let's see through turn 2 here. I got that nice this time, and we can see the good drive. We're going to try and go up the inside again, see if we can't get it to work this time, but we're going to try switch back from a better position here. And we just see as we start to get it on, there's not quite a kart width inside. I can't just turn the kart tight enough to get in there. and we just nudge his rear right corner, and that just keeps him ahead of us. He goes defensive to the inside, so we're going to take the racing line. Going to try and switch back like we saw Morgan do, but no, it wasn't on, it didn't open up, and we have to stay behind. And we can see Jake started to pull away at this point because he's starting to be a bit defensive. We look up the inside but don't send it, which then means we don't get a great exit. And yeah, that wasn't a particularly great sequence, but we're still on his tail. Turn 2, and we slide. We're going to lose time. And yeah, that just, again, just little mistakes like that just costing me a tenth or two here and there. And I just couldn't stop those mistakes by this point of the evening. Yeah, I got into a bit of a funk. I was trying my absolute best to work my way out of it. I went for a quiet walk after heat 1, went and sat down on my own for 2 minutes and just tried to suppress it. Unfortunately, I think I suppressed a bit too much, and I wasn't racing with any confidence, wasn't racing with any aggression, just wasn't able to find that cutting edge to make some moves. And we can see I've just kind of maintained now. Obviously the guy in front also isn't battling anybody, and there's the checkered flag on heat 2, and that was just disappointing. 2 disappointing heats. And we'll see here, I actually I pop my visor up, take my hands off the wheel, and I just started to slow down. It's like I need to focus this one. You also see how badly left my cart was pulling when I didn't have my hands on the steering wheel, so I'm not sure what that was about. Wasn't ideal, don't know if it affected me or not, but yeah. Yeah, I actually dropped back here and just kind of take a moment. Okay guys, just a quick update because the heats are pretty swift. We're straight in after the other groups. There's only 2 groups running, and yeah, as you've probably seen from the video so far, not good, just not good at all. That first one was just completely unacceptable. Driver involved, completely unacceptable, and he wouldn't even apologise. Said he did nothing wrong, and he just ran out of road, which, I mean, he's seen the footage, you've seen the footage, we know he didn't, but if he wants to be like that about it, he can be like that about it, can't he? Yeah, unfortunately I was a innocent victim of the aftermath of that incident and dropped all the way to the back, and then Simon took me out as well. He thought a gap was on. It's never on there because the racing line is wide. But yeah, just salt in the wound at that point, isn't it, really? And then that second heat, some unfortunate contact, lap 1 with Neil. When I was battling with somebody else as we were going through the sweeping right-hander, and that just pushed me offline. I hit the little island curb, and yeah, and then somebody overtook me, somebody else overtook me, and it just went downhill from there. Basically I lost line, lost speed, and just, yeah, wasn't good. It is what it is. It's high points grid today as well because of the size of the grids, and so every point lost really hurts in the championship. It definitely feels like a bad result tonight. Top 3 is slipping away. You probably see just how frustrated and down I am about that, but we got 1 more heat. I'm starting from 3rd, so hopefully I can just pull away from all this carnage, because at the moment I'm trying to make my way through that mid-pack carnage with 22 carts on heat and a handful of drivers that don't respect you or respect anybody. Yeah, so got a 3rd place start, and then we'll see what final we end up in. Not expecting a great result now. I think podium's definitely way out of reach at this point, but salvage as much as we can, see if we can score some great points, see how it goes. We'll catch up after this last heat, possibly, depending on how it goes.